tell you an uncomfortable truth about anger. Some of the most dangerous people you'll ever meet don't yell, they don't scream, they don't throw things. Nope. They go completely silent. And you have to understand, that silence, it's not calm. It's a weapon. So today we're going to dismantle that weapon, piece by piece, and figure out exactly why it feels so terrifying.
You know that feeling, right? The argument's over, but the air is just heavy, suffocating. It's a quiet that's so loud it's basically ringing in your ears. And if you've ever sat there thinking, wow, this feels so much worse than the yelling, you're not imagining it. You're not crazy. You're picking up on a very real signal.
See, with this kind of person, the end of an argument is never the end of the conflict. It's just the beginning of the punishment. That silence isn't a timeout. It's a strategy. It's a deliberate, painful withdrawal, and it's all about making you feel utterly and completely alone.
Okay, so to really get what's happening, we've got to look at the first big idea here. What you're feeling isn't emptiness, it's suppression.
I want you to picture their mind like a pressure cooker. All that anger, that fury, it doesn't just evaporate. It gets shoved down, compressed, and contained, building up this incredible internal force. You can almost feel the heat radiating off of them, can't you?
And that is the absolute key. The quiet in that room, it isn't peaceful. It's filled with the threat of an explosion. It's this simmering, intimidating energy that's designed to keep you totally on edge, walking on eggshells, just waiting for it to blow.
But hang on a second. This brings up a really important question. We're so focused on bracing for that big explosion, but what if that's just a distraction? What if the real danger, the real purpose, is actually in the waiting itself?
Which brings us to our second big insight. This is a full-on chess game. Because that silence is anything but passive. It is a calculated, strategic power move in a game you probably don't even realize is being played. So you have to get this idea out of your head that they're silent because they're at a loss for words. Oh no, they're silent because they are thinking 3 moves ahead of you. They are deliberately withholding communication to get a strategic advantage.
And the goal of this game, it's not just to be quiet. It's to make you so incredibly uncomfortable that you'll do anything to break that silence. It's engineered to make you apologize first. It's used to control the story, so you have to accept their version of reality. And ultimately, it's about dominance. It's about making you question yourself until you finally just surrender. And this is what it all boils down to. You shouldn't be focused on the words that are missing. You should be focused on the action that is being taken against you. It's a tactical maneuver to seize control.
Now this brings us to the third piece of the puzzle, and honestly, it's probably the most painful one. This isn't a healthy timeout to cool down. Psychologically, what you're experiencing is a profound act of abandonment.
Think about the warmth and the flow of your relationship as a river. Well, this kind of silence is like them deliberately freezing it solid. It's a total communication shutdown. The technical term is stonewalling, a complete refusal to engage that intentionally cuts you off from every bit of warmth and reassurance. And that feeling you get, that deep gut punch of being alone, of being shut out, that's not a side effect. That isolation is the whole point. It is engineered to make you feel desperate for reconnection, which puts them in the perfect position of power as the only one who can give it to you.
So you've got these 3 powerful psychological forces all working at once: the simmering threat of the pressure cooker, the strategic punishment of the chess game, and the cold isolation of the frozen river. Let's connect the dots now and see the deeper, more dangerous pattern they create.
When you put these 3 together, they don't just add up, they multiply. They create this devastating cycle. First, there's the tense buildup. Then comes the cold, punishing withdrawal that makes you feel abandoned, which makes you desperate to fix things, usually by just giving in completely. And then it repeats, over and over. And this, right here, leads us to the most important question of all. If this cycle feels so awful, if it is so obviously a psychological cage, why does it feel almost impossible to just open the door and walk out? Well, the answer has a name. It's called a trauma bond. See, this intense, repeating cycle of punishment and then eventually reward, it creates a powerful, almost addictive chemical bond inside your brain. During the silent treatment, your body is just flooded with stress hormones like cortisol. Then when they finally give you that crumb of forgiveness or affection, you get a huge rush of relief chemicals like dopamine. You literally get addicted, not to the person, but to the wild swing from pain to relief. You get hooked on the high of the river finally thawing, even if you know it's just going to freeze over again.
So the most important thing you can take away from all this is learning to tell the difference. Look, healthy people go silent sometimes. We all need space. But they do it for peace. They do it to de-escalate, to create safety. This other type of person, they use silence for power. For them, the silence is the conflict. It's meant to make you surrender, and it is designed to create fear. Just knowing that difference, that's your first step toward freedom.
And I'll leave you with this final thought. We're all taught that the opposite of love is hate. But when you've been on the receiving end of this kind of weaponized quiet, you learn something else. You learn that for some people, the true opposite of love isn't a fiery emotion at all. It's the cold, empty, calculated use of silence.